One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Ready to fight.
Saturday, July 27th, Pro Wrestling 225 presents Bases Loaded, a family-friendly, action-packed live professional wrestling event in Denham Springs. Come out and enjoy the best in pro wrestling while also raising money for Rips Baseball Academy. There's a great lineup featuring former NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Steve Anthony and 4 championship matches. Tickets start at just $12. Doors open at 4. For more info, visit eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com.
Ready to fight.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. You can hear all of your favorite shows on 104.5 ESPN in crystal clear high definition. Tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, July 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect rainy skies with a high of 99. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk about the latest trade involving the New Orleans Pelicans and the latest with LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello everybody and welcome in OTB. It is July 1st. That's right, baby. July 1st, a new month, new me, inching closer towards football season. We got the Olympics right around the corner. 4th of July coming up, probably getting ready to eat some dogs and some burgers, spend some time with the fam. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's have ourselves an Independence Week here on Off the Bench. In fact, now that I'm just thinking about this, it's probably about time for an Independence Day rewatch. It's probably been a few years for me. The older I get, the more and more I fall prey to nostalgia and falling in love with the movies of my childhood, be it the 90s or early 2000s movies. I also think a lot of these movies are particularly beautiful as well in this new digital age in which we live, because a lot of them were on film. And you can see that difference, that beautiful grain, if you will, on these new wonderful 4K TVs that everybody seems to have. But that's neither here nor there. We can get into Independence Day a bit later. I hope it holds up as well as Twister did. Which was absolutely fantastic. No Jake today. He is at a Senior Bowl event in Mobile, Alabama. So it'll be T-Bob, Alondra, and Tay-Tay hanging out with you today. Alondra rocking new hairstyle, got some bangs, got some colored up done in the hair as well. Looking good. How we feeling, Alondra?
I feel good. It's always good to do something new with your hair.
Yeah.
So.
Taylor wouldn't know. You feel good? You feel like, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I'm into it. It took some cojones for sure.
It takes balls to go
Yeah,
bangs.
she was about to cut him, and I was like, I'm kind of nervous. And she stopped, and I was like, okay, just go. Just do it.
You just got to do it.
But yeah, I'm into them.
Just do it. No fear. Speaking of no fear, Taylor, you seem like the type that were you born just a little bit earlier, you would have had a no fear sticker on the back of your car. Do you remember the company No Fear?
I have heard of it.
Okay. I don't really remember.
But I know this.
From my childhood, I actually don't know what the company was really. I just remember, I'm sure it's like Extreme Sports. I just remember everybody having No Fear stickers. But Tay, how we feeling this Monday?
We're doing good. Not a bumper sticker guy. Never have been, T-Bob. Now, again, maybe the No Fear era would have changed my opinion on that. But not a bumper sticker guy. Doing good, though, on this Monday.
Never. Yeah, no like Salt Life, no like Browning or anything along those lines. Oh, wow. Okay.
No thin blue line.
I've fallen prey to a couple bumper stickers in my life, though they may be a bit different than others.
The coexist ones.
No, not the coexist ones. Those are very funny. Never had the family ones either, even though people send me like Star Wars family ones all the time online. No, I had a Crescent City Comics bumper sticker, my favorite comic shop in New Orleans, shout out. And then in high school, and what can only be described as just a completely misguided douchery of youth, I had a Rockstar energy drink sticker on my car. And to be fair, I loved Rockstar. So like I was wearing my passion on my sleeve. I really loved Rockstar energy drinks. But man, does not feel good looking back, thinking about having that on there. Not exactly the coolest, if you will. All right, let's start with a little Manning Passing Academy talk. As it went down this weekend, there were some media availabilities, and Garrett Nussmeier seemed to be one of the stars. Here's what CBS sports analyst Taylor McHargue had to say, quote, Garrett Nussmeier was the guy that just jumped out from LSU. It was all the throws. He was a guy you knew obviously had a lot of arm talent and strength, but there was one right out of the gate where they threw the field quarterback, and anyone that's played the position knows it's one of the hardest throws in college football. He rips it to that field sideline, and just from there, every one of his throws for LSU fans certainly looked like, to me, someone to be excited because his arm talent is real. And, of course, this is an event that features all of the best quarterbacks in the entire nation. Now, I would say this to analyst McHargue. We kind of have known this about Garrett Nussmeier, right? The arm talent was the thing that made him so exciting initially. It's where that kind of gunslinger mentality is born from, right? You can't be a gunslinger if you don't got a cannon on your hip. And, well, Nussmeier does. What I've always been more intrigued by is, okay, you have the arm talent. You have the courage, right? The intangibles, the gumption to go out there and play quarterback and take risks. Now, can you be the leader? Can you kind of sand down the edges of that gunslinger mentality? Can you make the big plays while avoiding the big mistakes? And in what we saw out of Garrett Nussmeier last year, I believe he gave you a very tantalizing glimpse that he can do so. Again, the bowl game was awesome statistically, but it was more important situationally. I've talked about it a million times at this point. But yes, Nuss being able to lead that comeback against Wisconsin. Think about how different the offseason is if you finish last season 9-4 with a loss to a really bad Wisconsin team, which you were on the edge of because your defense, my God, it was awful. You let old, what's his name, tear you up. Who's the quarterback in that game again?
It was Tanner Mordecai.
Yes, Tanner Mordecai. Fresh off the farm in Pennsylvania with a beard not featuring a mustache. You almost got, I don't really think Tanner Mordecai is Amish, but he sounds Amish. The point is you lost almost to the most Amish-sounding and mediocre of all quarterbacks in the Big Ten. But thanks to Garrett Nussmeier and a heroic 94-yard drive, the mental toughness to not be flapped, right? Can you be flapped if you're unflappable? The mental toughness to not be flapped by a 14-point deficit. That's what I loved seen out of Nuss. And all that I've heard from this entire offseason portion is the leadership, the confidence, everything else, it's all there. He knows it's his team. He's ready to take this team over and see what he can do with it. And I think for that reason, he's going to be one of the fastest risers in the entire country when it comes to quarterback. Like, the analysts know, the people who pay a lot of attention to college football know about Garrett Nussmeier's story, know who he is. I still believe that the general public at large do not. And in Nuss's favor, he's going to have, critically, a couple of technological innovations that should have been on NCAA sidelines, I don't know, for 20 years, but for whatever reason have not been. Now, one you've probably heard of, and that is the fact that quarterbacks are now going to be able to use helmet communication the same way that the pros have been doing for ages, right? Joe Sloan will now be in Garrett Nussmeier's ear up until there are 15 seconds left on the play clock, or when the ball is snapped, right? So if you are a very quick-moving offense, the OC could speak with you all the way up until the ball is snapped. But again, officials will cut off helmet communication with 15 seconds left on the play clock or when it is snapped. Here's what Nussmeier had to say about it. Quote, "It's been huge. I think it adds a whole nother level to how our offensive coordinator is able to call the game, the checks we're able to make, and the things like that. It turns it into the NFL." Fellow Manning Passing Academy quarterback Riley Leonard, of course, now at Notre Dame, said it's like having the answers to the test. And I'll be very interested to see the dynamics of how all this plays out. Again, the 2020 forging of college football, the reforging, continues to be insane, guys. It's not just the transfer portal. It's not just new conferences that we've never seen before, a new 12-team playoff, but even down to things like we talked about the other day, the fact that now everybody on the shadow staff can be involved in coaching during practice and on game day. Now you've got helmet communication. Now, critically, you're also going to have tablets on the sideline where you can finally see what actually just happened. One of my biggest points of frustration and jealousy in my own playing days, well over a decade ago now, was that you'd watch the NFL, and actually, granted, a lot of this was pre-tablet even there, even though it came around basically when I was in college, the switch was made. You watch the NFL, and at first they'd have these printed out pictures of exactly what happened they could see, and then eventually became a tablet, and you could review the film right there on the sideline. And when you are in the middle of a game, and all the chaos that ensues, a million moving parts, human missiles zanging everywhere all around you, pew, pew, like having a actual live feed of what just happened is invaluable. I mean, gone are the days of trying to piece it together. Like, this is how a general meeting used to take place on the sideline. Because look, when you're in a high level of football, you're actually, for the most part, not watching what the other side of the ball is doing when you're on the sideline. You are meeting, and you are trying to figure out what exactly the defense is doing, how are they looking to counter what we came out with, and then how do we counter their counter. And in my day, that was done through the coach basically sitting down and saying, okay, here's what we think we saw. What did you see? What are they doing here? And you're going down the line, and you're all trying. Again, you're all adding little pieces of, okay, well, this is what my guy did, this is what my guy did, and you add it up, and then you get on the whiteboard and you try to make a whole picture of it. You know what you do now? You look at the tablet, and you rewind the play, and you say, oh, well, look here, look at this indicator from the safety here. Obviously, they're trying to bait us into this. Oh, this is when we check here, this is what they're doing with the 3-tech, or the line is automatically slant. Like, it's just infinitely better. It cuts out all the base level communication of trying to establish what are they doing, and you get straight into the communication of what are we going to do. I love that. It's like something as stupid as having a Google Doc doing this show. One of my frustrations before we had a shared document that everybody could be involved in and read and keep up to date with the way we'd always have to have the discussion. Okay, what are we doing here? And then what are we going to do next week? What are we going to do there? And it's just a baseline of communication that wastes time, makes you inefficient, and cuts you off from doing the work that needs to be done and making the show actually good. Well, in the same way, I love that you've cut out all of that BS now. when it comes to the sideline of major college football. So not only do you have a Garrett Nussmeier that has years of experience now and growth, learning from a literal Heisman winner, an OC that he's been with for years, a team that he is clearly the leader of, but he will now have direct lines of communication with the coach to make his mental checks and everything else easier. And he'll have direct view of film on the sideline to make in-game adjustments easier. And then finally, the other part I love here, or maybe not the part I love, but something I'm going to be fascinated to see the same way that he said, like, who will be the first to figure out what the best practice will be in terms of, okay, you can have all these new coaches now. What do we do? Who's going to figure out how to best manipulate the communication in helmet? And I don't think as much as tablets because everybody's going to be, those best practices are kind of established. But like when it comes to the college game, are you going to run super tempo and try to allow the OC to basically be in the quarterback's ear, like snap it before 15 seconds, allow the OC to be in the quarterback's ear up to the snap, let the OC make all of the checks? Or do you go with a bit something slower? And if you're a defensive coordinator and you know a team's doing something slower, do you show them a look up until 15 seconds and then try to switch it up on them so the quarterback's out there on his own? Like, the implications for these decisions could be potentially huge. And I can't wait to see how Nuss and LSU and everybody manages it. But shout out to the Manning Passing Academy, which is one of South Louisiana premier football events as the entire football world descends upon Thibodaux, Louisiana. And shout out to Garrett Nussmeier, who seems to be equating himself very well amongst the best quarterbacks in the entire nation. All right, when we get back, we'll get to all of your comments at the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. You can go to youtube.com/1045 ESPN if you want to get involved. Hit the like button. Come hang out, friends. It's going to be a fun Monday, July 1st here, 2024. And as top of whatever you have to say coming up next, I do want to start to get into a bevy of Pelicans news as a couple of signings, a couple of major trades, and all of a sudden the Pelicans roster is looking far different. Tay called it on Friday. We'll get into it here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Look, man, you need somebody who's going to stand up and fight for you, get you what you deserve when you get in an accident. That's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. They cover a plethora of cases. You can see them on all right there on the homepage of the website. You can also fill out a free consultation form right there on the homepage of the website. They'll tell you exactly what to do next. Or, I mean, it's probably, if you like dealing with humans directly, immediately, 225-888-8888. Also, never forget to follow Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys on social media at Get Gordon. Ton of great content to be had there in terms of just kind of like general life advice, success, business advice, what to do when you get in an accident, but also a lot of content with your favorite athletes, the members of the G Team out here winning championships. Get Gordon, get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. We're at the Queen Casino in downtown Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch, wrapping up the weekend and getting you ready for the 4th of July holiday. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Independence Week. Hope everybody's having a great start to their July. Champ says the bangs are banging. 10 out of 10. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Ryan Smith, unfortunately, is going to get put in a 5-minute timeout. Because he said John Baptiste is mid. And that was literally like the one of the first comments out of the gate. I apologize, Ryan. Loyal listener to the show, but there are some lines that cannot be crossed. So I apologize. Daniel Blunt says, JV ain't coming back. Talking about Jonas Valanciunas. He sold his house. Well, yes, he's not coming back because he literally signed somewhere else. David Griffin promised you changes on this Pelicans roster after last year's roster fell short. And it made sense why they kind of stayed status quo last year because you hadn't really gotten a full look at what this piece could do together when relatively healthy. Well, you got that look last year. And there was a lot of good. However, there was a bit too much of spinning of the wheels. And although I loved him, Jonas Valanciunas has officially moved on. He has signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Washington Wizards. And again, I want to reinforce this. I really, really loved Jonas during these 3 years in New Orleans. He was a key part of a team that I believe, even though the end of the season results did vary a bit in terms of how far you got when you look at the regular season wins and how good of a day-to-day team you were. He was a key part of a team that got better each year over the course of 3 years. And to be clear, one of the best parts is durable. A team that is been defined by injuries, it feels like, for the last 10 years in so many different ways. Jonas Valanciunas missed 11 games in 3 years. I appreciate that level of workmanship, that level of durability, of toughness. It's not to say that he just was never hurt, didn't feel good. Like, no, he just played through it all. For 3 years, put his body on the line for the Pellies. And again, it is much appreciated. But at the same time, there were some key statistics. Was the rim protection just was not there. It wasn't exactly fitting in with Zion and company. And you don't really need offensive production from a center necessarily. Before we get into the big trade that broke Friday afternoon right at the end of Tay-Tay's AFR, Najee Marshall has also officially moved on. A 3-year deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Great pickup for the Mavs, in my opinion here. A team that obviously coming off of a finals run, knows they have the main pieces, now kind of looking to build around the edges. Bit of a meat and potatoes pick here. Najee Marshall, who, remember, one of the Pelicans' great UDFAs here. Najee Marshall, though, is kind of one of those ultimate glue guys that every team needs, right? Just an absolute grinder, great attitude, great defensively, shoots well from three, seems to make big plays when you need him. One of those kind of second team leaders that when you put him in for those few minutes when he gets his opportunity, again, holds the rope, sometimes advances the rope. I hate to see the Pelicans lose him. I'll be interested to see how they replace him. Again, this is not like replacing a superstar where you're going to look at like the raw statistical output. Well, how am I gonna replace Najee Marshall's points and rebounds per game and everything? I don't really care about that. I more wonder how you're going to replace Najee Marshall's kind of work ethic and where he fit in that locker room and the intensity and energy that he brought to that second unit. However, you may accuse me of burying the lead here, and you would be right, because the biggest news is something that Taylor alluded to at the beginning of AFR on Saturday or Friday, excuse me, and help me out. So you'll talk about it at the beginning, and then by the end of the show, it'll become official, correct?
Yeah. So, I was just kind of recapping what they did in the NBA draft, first round, second round with Messi and Reeves, and I was like, hey,
Mr. Messi,
if you're looking for a point guard, Trae Young's name was mentioned, but I brought up the fact that I thought Dejounte Murray was a lot better fit than Trae Young was, and with about 5 minutes left in the show, Pelicans traded for Dejounte Murray.
Yep. And so the Pelicans end up signing Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, E.J. Liddell, and 2 first-round picks for Dejounte Murray. And you now have your lead guard. We'll talk about fit more in a minute here. First, let's look at the pieces you give up. Larry Nance Jr., again, this is kind of a culture guy to lose, which sucks. Great locker room guy, great culture guy. Another man who had some really bright moments in New Orleans. Of course, I'll always remember Scary Larry in that Clippers play-in game from a couple of years ago where he was dominant and he helps the playoffs eventually, the Pelicans push into the first round against the Suns. They were exciting. But when an all-star is up for grabs, a 2-time all-star that was both an all-star in San Antonio and in Atlanta, well, there are pieces you're going to have to give up. And if you're telling me your backup center is one of them, I'm going to tell you, okay, we'll find a way to replace the culture impact. Dyson Daniels is a very exciting player to me. Great length, great defense, learning to shoot threes, young, super high ceiling. However, when you look at all of the Pelicans' young pieces, be it Herb, Trey, as much as I like Daniels, he was the most movable. And again, the AD trade continues to pay dividends as that first-round pick, not exactly the most attractive, but now packaged in a deal. This is, again, one of the Lakers picks, one of the 2 first-round picks you're giving up for an all-star. And how rare is it to get an all-star without giving up one in return? Without even giving up a starter in return, in fact. And an all-star on a good contract. He's making about $26 million a year for the next 2 years. And he's getting, and he has a player option after that. Now, if he continues to play at this level, I imagine he'll deny that and want to get extended big. But if it's going well, great, then extend him, right? Pelicans are one of only 2 teams in the NBA not to pay the luxury tax. So this feels To me, this feels like a bit of a home run deal for the Pels. You didn't give up any major assets. You got a 27-year-old reigning all-star in his physical prime who is ready to win now. It addresses a point of need. Your main ball handler. As much as I love Point Zion, Dejounte Murray probably works out better once you get the chemistry down in terms of making this all work, and he's going to be asked to do more of what he did in San Antonio and be more of a setup and facilitator than maybe he was asked to do in Atlanta, where he became more of a scorer. Also, Dejounte Murray, an elite defensive player. In 21-22, led the NBA in steals. The Pelicans, under Willie Green, have been an elite defensive team, finished in top 6 over the last 2 seasons. I mean, it's really been... There were times last year when the Pelicans were at their best last year. It's when you just felt their length. Like everybody could play it. Now, granted, Dyson Daniels was part of that, but this long positionless defense where everybody could D up everybody. And Zion was garbage at first, but Zion doubled down, committed, and got to be a good defender by the end of the year. And now you had Dejounte Murray. That's very exciting to me. So, look, I think this is a great fit. I think you gave up no major assets here. I think this is a very exciting move by David Griffin and Bryson Graham, the brand new 37-year-old GM. But there's still work to be done. Taylor, what was your initial reaction to the Murray trade?
I loved it because, like you said at the beginning of the show on Friday, I kind of, teased this a little bit, but I thought they were going to trade Brandon Ingram for Dejounte Murray. I mean, I thought that's the type of caliber player you were going to have to trade to get him. I mean, you trade Larry Nance Jr. and a couple role players for an all-star. I think that's the most important part of this trade because you still have Ingram. If you get things to work out for him, great. Like, hand up, I want him in New Orleans. I love Brandon Ingram. But if you do have to trade him, you need that big. Now you trade Brandon Ingram for a big. There is a lot more options out there now because you held on to him and were still able to get Murray.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And that's unfortunately probably what's going to happen with Brandon Ingram. Now, David Griffin had a very interesting quote on Ingram on Wednesday saying, Brandon wants to stay here. He believes in what we are building. That is meaningful to us. That's meaningful to him. That's meaningful to his agent. At the same time, there's a financial reality that we all deal with. I think we're excited about Brandon. We know he's excited about us. Usually these things yield good results one way or another. That's a lot of niceties with just no real substance in terms of commitment, right? That is clearly telling you that everybody likes each other, but that they are at an impasse a bit financially. Let me present you with a hypothetical. What if Brandon Ingram was willing to take a very team-friendly deal? Do you try to keep him and make him work, or do you still move him again? Because as chat's asking right now, who's going to be the rim protector? Who's going to be the center? That's what you still need, and Ingram does represent your greatest chip to acquiring that need.
I think you have to move him at this point. Again, I love Brandon Ingram, but you have a lot of wing players. Herb Jones can play the wing. We've seen Trey Murphy be able to do it. If you go look at free agency right now that Valanciunas is signed, I mean, Andre Drummond, Mohamed Bamba, I mean, do those names excite you? I mean, those are the guys out there that you'd have to sign if you do not trade for at least a competent starting big man. At this point, you got to get rid of him, I think.
Yeah, and I know that I doubt there's any movement here. Jared Allen from Memphis is somebody they've been trying to pry away for a while now. I don't know that Memphis would, what would you have to give it up as well as it just feels like Memphis would want a lot for that on top of Ingram. But it is a bit of a bummer, though, because I do believe that Brandon Ingram genuinely enjoys being in New Orleans. And that was not the case. Players did not enjoy being in New Orleans when he got here. And I think that perception has changed. I think guys like C.J. McCollum did a lot to change that, but I think Brandon Ingram probably did some of the most, coming here, making himself into an all-star. But unfortunately, this is just the reality of the business. So they absolutely still need a center. Might need a couple with Larry Nance now gone as well. And I'll be interested to see how Bryson Graham checks that box, the new GM. By the way, Bryson Graham, just 37 years old. And there's a great write-up on his story in the Advocate from over the weekend. I believe Rod Walker did it. But 15 years ago, Bryson Graham's first day of work an intern for the Hornets. He's unloading boxes in the Hilario Center in West Wego. Now, 15 years later, he's guiding the Pelicans through an NBA draft, trading for all-stars without giving up any starters, and now going to seek to take this roster to the next level and fill the final holes and make a run at what should be a very tough Western Conference next season. All right, when we get back here on OTB, got a little more passing academy news. Plus, looks like Texas A&M has a new baseball coach. Who is it? Should you be worried? More coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go Tommies, Geaux, Tommies.com. That's for Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, my friend. And wonder what they do. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Duh. You need a hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. Tommy's is your answer. But T-Bob, you're paid to say this. How can I trust you? Well, I mean, look, I use all of the people that we advertise for, and I do give it my tacit seal of approval, but your point is a salient one. And so I would tell you this, my skeptical friend, make Tommy's one of the bids on your project, okay? And let him prove it to you. Let him prove to you the 27 years of experience that he has in this business. Let him prove to you the lengths that he is willing to go for his customers to make sure that the job is done correctly and efficiently and respectfully. GEAUXTommies.com. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Look back at the top 5 moments of the LSU academic calendar in athletics and get you caught up on the baseball transfer portal. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? So Texas A&M got a new coach, and it's probably not one that you know much about. I certainly did and do not. I literally discovered this about 3 minutes, I would say 5 minutes before we went on air. So I'm coming a bit half-cocked at this, though. You know, what better way to do things? Michael Early was named Texas A&M head coach. Now you're like, who's that? Well, he was an assistant under Snakel. And it looks like, kind of like many of us, spent a couple days in Austin. Not for me. And decided to head back to College Station. So I would say this about the hire. Again, from a resume standpoint, this cat is young. He was an assistant. Taylor, look this up. I don't believe he has any head coaching experience on his resume.
Doesn't.
He does not,
No.
right? Okay, thank you. I mean, he looks really young from what I saw. The one thing he really has going in his favor, the players seem to love him. And I mean love him. If the Twitter reaction from current and former Aggies is anything, it reminds me of when Marcus Freeman was hired at Notre Dame. A guy with no previous head coaching experience that was a favorite of the players and how exciting. And you could say, well, how have Freeman's results been thus far? Pretty damn good, but definitely room to get better, certainly. But Texas A&M was in a tough spot here, right? And this is where it gets interesting. So the players love him, which is going to be key in retaining the current roster as well as the recruiting class, which are both very good. And early reports are that most of the recruits seem to be, hell yeah, I'm sticking around. People believe that this will lead to many of the current players sticking around as well. I mean, Hayden Schott, the DH from this last year, was tweeting about how he wished he could find some way to get an extra year of eligibility to play for this man. Again, it makes a lot of sense in the current setting. What I'm fascinated to see is when Trev Alberts makes this hire, how much of it is due to the current realities, right? If you go out and you do an extended coaching search and you try to go find someone with a resume, which is hard because there's not a ton out there, like how much risk are you incurring there? Are you going to get everybody poached? Then you have a new coach show up. He has no players. He has no ability to get new players. It's a tough hand to be dealt. So like, how much of this is because of the current reality and how much of it is because they really believe in Michael Early? And then they could be getting in early on one of the fast risers in college baseball. That is something that's impossible to answer as it stood today. But again, the players in College Station seem to be very, very excited about him returning. I tried to find some. I didn't find anything official, but maybe admittedly I could have missed it. Been in the lake all weekend. Any word on Grahovic or Lavalette?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Again, if they go back to A&M, well, that should show you what this team feels about Early. One more little transfer portal piece of baseball news before we move on. Justin Lohr has officially entered the portal. Of course, transferred in from Xavier last season. He will be spending his senior season elsewhere. I think he's the 8th or 9th pitcher to leave LSU. Of course, you've brought in 6 arms. I'm sure you're still working on more. So, Lohr, best of luck into the future. Had some nice moments this year, but it doesn't feel like anything too crazy, though. I would love... to remind you about the MMR Group. MMRGRP.com is the website for the nation's largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire nation. And yes, it may be the nation's largest, so guess where it's headquartered? Right here in Baton Rouge. That's right. At a time when you have so many businesses leaving elsewhere for their headquarters, MMR Group has chose to keep it right here in the boot, and we love them for that. And if you'll love them, though, because the opportunity they provide, if you want a career, not a job, but a career that has dynamic culture, outstanding benefits, send you out adventures all over the world, potentially, you should apply now. And I don't care if you're a college student seeking internship and a pathway to start your career, if you're already in this business and have been for a while or just starting out, a variety of positions available. Go to mmrgrp.com. We're going to mention this again during Weekend Winners, but shout out to Bobby Bonilla because it is once again Bobby Bonilla Day. As here on this July 1st, 2024, he gets his 14th installment of his 1.1, well, no, I was going to say basically 1.2, but no, no, it is basically 1.2. Basically a $1.2 million payment from the New York Mets. This is his 14th installment, and guess what? He still has 11 more to go. So Bonilla still owed $1 million a year every July 1st for the next 11 years. The Mets have now paid him a total of $16.7 million for him not to play in that 2000 season. Got to be one of the all-time great feelings. That's some really, what do people, you probably know some like super successful guys who call it like mailbox money. That's the most extreme version of mailbox money that I could possibly fathom. Literally doing nothing and having $1 million check hit the bank account every July 1st. Do you know how much I would love Independence Day if that was me? Like all of a sudden it would rocket past Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving and would easily be at the top of my holiday power ranking. So shout out Bobby B, even though I still hate you for being a part of that Marlins team that won the World Series over the Braves. All right, when we get back here and Off the Bench, more Garrett Nussmeier from the Manny Passing Academy. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org. Man, look, you want 50 years of experience to take advantage of. They call that a salty vet, okay? And, well, that's what they got at Central Plumbing. So I don't care if you got old house, new house, whatever. They're going to know how to fix your problem. Also, remember, it's not just residential. If you're a big business and you need your plumbing needs met, you know, your commercial needs, well, Central Plumbing has the paperwork, insurance, and personnel to do so. Speaking of personnel, it is just a massive fleet, meaning there's always somebody there for you, 24/7 emergency service as well. Weekday, holiday, they got you back. But so, look, anything goes wrong, pick up the phone, 225-925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org. But it's not just repairs. Remember, guys, you want to remodel your bathroom, maybe get like a tankless water heater. Well, Central Plumbing does that as well. CentralPlumbing.org, your one-stop plumbing shop.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN.
Shout out my guy Jetpack, Jesse the Jetpack Don, for putting me on that song. Again, I think I've been listening to it constantly as of late, just get in a good mood and feel good. What y'all think? Do you like it?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said it perfectly. Man, they press play so well.
You really are going to levy that. So if you're listening on radio, I can understand how you could arrive at that. But you're going to levy that accusation after the video you just saw,
No,
where you
I'm
clearly
kidding. I'm
you clearly see him playing the beat live on his soundboard?
Yeah, and then he mixes it back. You ever seen the guy?
Yeah, Mark Rebier. Come on, bro. I've been watching Mark Rebier for damn near a decade.
Was that the guy on
Get
The
hell outta
Voice?
here. What?
What was the guy on The Voice who did like the...
I
What do
don't
you call
know.
it? He called it looping or whatever. And he like sing a song and he like looped it back live.
I mean, a ton of people do that, but nobody's probably done that better than Mark Rebier. He's built a bit of a YouTube empire, building just insane beats and weird songs with just a manic, crazy, half-dressed energy as he gets you fired up for the day. We should play some Mark Rebier. The only problem is a lot of it not exactly on air friendly, or on air friendly, I should say. Yeah, okay, good. A lot of chat is just crapping all over you right now. I love to see it. It's Tay, you kind of had a hot streak going of making me happy.
Okay,
and
again,
no, shut up.
I literally said,
shut up.
Shoebang said,
No,
man, they
shut
press
up.
play so well.
No.
All I did was read his comment.
But you championed the comment. You took it up as your shield, okay? That's on you. You now deal with the consequences. All right. When we get back, let's open the next hour talking about Garrett Nussmeier. We got some Saints talk coming your way as well. We still got weekend winners to get to. We got LSU at the Olympics. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuve Me Medical. RejuveMeMedical.com. You think if I take enough testosterone, I can get back in the rave crowd? Right? At least I'll feel like I should. I may not look like it. Why is that man so large and sweaty? Isn't he too old to be here? I don't care, because I'm feeling good and I'm feeling youthful. Thanks to my friends at Rejuve Me Medical, where you can fight the effects of untreated aging. I don't care if you're male, female, 20, 30, 40, 50. Rejuve Me Medical is there for you. And look, maybe HRT's for you, maybe it's not, right? I got told I had the testosterone of a 60-year-old male. I think Jake got told he had enough testosterone to power a third world country. So our bodies are not the same, and they understand that, Rejuve Me. So get your free consultation, get your labs drawn, and let them customize a plan for you to get you where you want to be. Rejuve Me Medical.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, July 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 99 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll talk the latest with the New Orleans Saints. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2 here on this Monday, July 1st. Taylor can't do anything right.
I mean, June and July, kind of the same thing, right?
I mean, it doesn't matter because Alondra sucks worse than you now for hating that song. So, these are the rules, Alondra. You don't even need to defend yourself. There's no point.
I wasn't going to. I actually don't care.
Good. I don't care that you don't care. Right. How about that? In fact, no matter how little you care, I guarantee you I care less.
Really? Because you keep talking about it.
It doesn't matter because I'm just stating facts, okay? And as y'all know, I'm a slave to honesty and truth and light and goodness, and that's just how I kind of live my life. And right now, the truth is telling me that you're an idiot and you have awful musical opinions, even though you do play pretty good music here, actually pretty consistently. So I don't know what's gone wrong here, but you need to figure it out.
I don't know. Random sounds just are not my thing.
Okay. Stop it. Okay. I like Taylor being the punching bag, not you. I would rather not have you go run stairs, but we'll do what we have to do if you force my hand. Okay. So coming up this hour, the ESPN ranked all 32 NFL rosters. I think it's pretty interesting where the Saints fell on this list and kind of where the entire NFC South fell on this list, just showing you that, maybe the division leaves to be desired on the whole. I want to, as I said, I'm going to get some Garrett Nussmeier quotes from the Manning and Passing Academy that I believe are pretty interesting and revealing. Unfortunately, we could not find an actual sound of the quotes, so I will just be reading them to you. But, if you listen to the show, that's no big surprise. You hear me try to do my best Dan Carlin every day when I read quotes. Daniel Blunt says T-Bob's chest hair is pointed directly at Taylor. Let's make a note for the record. Yes, please make sure that is in the minutes. This is not assault, guys, okay? This is just me living my life. And if you try to paint it as such, that's on you for getting turned on by my chest hair. Dang, T-Bob's cranky today, taking out Alondra. It did make me a bit cranky to hear her attack the song that I've been forming my life around over the weekend and using as a boon if I'm in a sad mood to get my mind right. I have no
I'm
idea
sorry.
what this out of context comment is saying. Scott says, damn right, Alondra. I loved watching my wife eat them too. Was
Okay.
perfect foreplay. What?
There's this hot dog.
Eat what?
Okay,
What?
a glizzy.
Okay.
So there's a hot dog cart outside of a Howl at the Moon in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And they are like the best hot dogs in the world. They're so good. It's like this cart, and the guy's just making them out there. I think it's outside of Howl at the Moon. I don't remember what bar. Maybe it's outside of Pato's.
What's that? Is that like a bar?
What do
Yeah,
you
it's a bar.
think?
It might be Pato's. There's a Pat O'Brien's.
I doubt you know the exact answer.
Okay.
But what would you guess or surmise that they are doing to separate themselves hot dog wise?
I think it's the way they're
tough.
cooking them.
So I'm saying, but like, what is it about when you eat them? What is it that makes
Maybe
it stand
because I'm
out?
drunk.
Is it excellent? Is it like next level bread? Like, for instance, you ever had like a Swedish hot dog where they stick it like inside of almost like a more of like a baguette type of bread?
No,
or
I
like
mean,
a
it's
French
just
bread
like
type of bread?
a-
That's
pigs in
very
a blanket?
good. Kind of, yes. And now, granted, the only Swedish hot dog I had was in Colorado, and it was many, many years ago at this point. But I remember thinking, damn, that's a good hot dog. I like a good crispy skin, or you know what I'm talking about. Maybe crispy is the right word. A good snap
Yeah.
of the skin, right? When
Yeah.
you bite into a hot dog, you get that
Mhm.
explosion of juice.
Oh yeah, they grill them real good.
Okay.
Also, like
so they're grilling them.
yes, and like I don't do this, but you can get them like wrapped in bacon. Like you can get the hot dog,
I mean,
like the
that sounds,
weenie
you know,
wrapped in bacon.
Again,
Sounds phenomenal.
there are a few truths in the culinary world.
Yeah.
One
Anything
of
with
which
bacon.
is that nothing has ever been made worse being fried. Nothing has ever been made worse by adding peanut butter to it. And nothing has ever been made worse by wrapping it in bacon.
Yeah, it's by Pato's actually. I can never because look, I always have these hot dogs whenever I'm like end of the night, and maybe that's why they're so good. But they're so good. If you're ever in San Antonio,
Do you get
and
what do
go
you
to
get
Pat
on your hot
O'Brien's-
dog? What do you get on yours?
Oh, I'm very basic. I just get because you can get like grilled onions on them. So I
Uh-huh.
put me some grilled onions on it and
Sounds
some
great.
mustard
It sounds
and maybe some
excellent.
grilled jalapenos.
God,
too.
that sounds freaking delicious.
They're so good.
Mac Lindsay says Costco glizzies are undefeated. Costco glizzies are great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Costco guy. But yeah, again, because they're a lot of meat, right? They're a big, thick glizzy, and they do have a pretty nice skin snap when you
I do
bite
love a
into
skin
them.
snap.
You got to.
Yeah, I do love a skin snap.
You got to. I mean, I guess you don't have to. Again, hot dogs, one of those foods, it's like pizza in a very high floor, right? You're not really going to screw up a hot dog. If nothing else, basically any hot dog you ever eat will be, unless it's bad, like legitimately spoiled or something. You'll be like, okay, yeah, that was fine. That was good. Just like almost any pizza you eat, doesn't matter if it's Totino's, if it's frozen, anything, like whatever. You're going to be like, okay, yeah, that was fine. And sometimes in those high floor foods, the hardest part is trying to elevate the ceiling because you can get comfortable. You get a bit lazy with the floor. And then you end up like Baton Rouge is like an okay pizza city. So try out.
Man.
I wish I could try these.
You should. Well, next time you're in San Antonio, if you ever go to San Antonio, go to Pat O'Brien's and get you a little hot dog afterwards.
I've never been in San Antonio. I don't know why I ever would be
It's
there.
so fun.
But it'd be cool to go for sure.
There was like one time we went to like Coyote Ugly, Howl at the Moon, and then finished at Pat O'Brien's, and then we had those hot dogs, and they were so
I watched Coyote Ugly quite a bit growing
I
up.
love Coyote
Why?
Ugly.
Wait, why? Did you just really enjoyed like the plot?
It was I watched it for the plot.
I
It
assumed.
was one of the first PG-13 movies that I think if I'm remembering correctly, that I think I was kind of allowed to watch or yeah, a bit risque, right? Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
Back in the day, for sure. I used to love Tyra Banks. Wow. All right. Ask the bench, what are your hot dog toppings? People are going to get pissed off at me. I mean, I like everything, right? Like William Anthony says kimchi with a dash of mayo and hot mustard. Done that. It's delicious. I've had a delicious kind of sweet like mango salsa on my hot dogs. It's great. Like I with a little like crushed tortilla chips over the top. I can eat a lot of different hot dog types. That said, I am a loser and I just like ketchup on a hot dog. You know, love it. And look, when I went to Chicago style dog is great as well. Big pickle spear, those little like sweet pepper things that they have. Like, it's all great. It's all great. But you know what else is great? Ketchup on a dog is great. So, yeah.
I'm about to be in Round Rock for a few days. I'm going to be at the Del Diamond, gobbling some glizzies.
Ugh, Texas. Gross. All right, let's get into some Garrett Nussmeier, the Manny Pass Academy over the weekend. If you missed it, open the show. You can always rewind, or I'm sure we'll put it up on YouTube or on OTB LSU channel, which please sub to if you want to help out the cause. But we talked about some of the changes coming this fall, and Garrett Nussmeier's the Manny Pass Academy talking about the in-helmet communication with Joe Sloan and how important that is. And I was waxing about the fact that you can now finally watch the replays of what you just did on a tablet on the sidelines. You can know exactly what's going on. The major changes to 2024 college football continue. But here's another reason why you should be excited about Garrett Nussmeier and Coach Joe Sloan being in constant communication because, well, they have a great relationship. Here's what he had to say, because we kind of glaze over this a bit, but it is insane. It is insane that LSU had the offense that it did last year. Top 5 in the entire country with the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, a man who put together the best statistical Heisman winning season since, I think we went all the way back to like 73 and compared it. And like nobody did what he did in such a varied sense. Of course, Burrow and, guys like Mac Jones, it's pretty overwhelming numbers as well. He didn't win the Heisman, But again, Jaden Daniels, mind-blowing last year. Offense, mind-blowing. And yet, your OC leaves, and doesn't really leave of his own volition. Leaves because you come to your OC and you say, hey, we want you to become co-OC. And he's saying, well, hold up now. Hold up. What's going on here? I just engineered the best offense in the entire country, and all of a sudden, I'm supposed to accept a shared job title with a young upstart like Joe Sloan. Why is that? That's my quarterback coach. I called the plays. And I have it on pretty good authority that, Mike Denbrock was upset with Brian Kelly about this proposition. And he chose to go to Notre Dame. And we just kind of hand-waved it away. But that's a pretty shockingly major change, losing your OC and putting in a new one with so much is riding on this year 3 and working a new quarterback. However, one of the reasons why Brian Kelly proposed this change in the first place, I believe, is because, well, on one hand, Joe Sloan is one of the fast risers in terms of an offensive mind and modern college football, and you try to keep those guys in-house and make them happy and keep them around. And also, I think he had an incredible relationship with Garrett Nussmeier, also Bryce Underwood. Remember, we talked about Bryce Underwood's quotes about Joe Sloan and how it's more than just football. It's like family, blah, blah, blah. But here's what Garrett Nussmeier had to say about Coach Sloan. At first, he says, what do y'all do? He says, we continue to do the same work we've been doing, continue to take it day by day and get better each and every day. I love Coach Sloan. I wouldn't want to play for anybody else. I value your relationship a whole lot, and I don't believe there's anybody else in the country that will be able to get me more ready to play just based on our relationship and how much he knows me and how much he knows to push me and make me better. He's probably harder on me than anybody, and I'm okay with that because it pushes me. Really appreciate that. So again, you see the maturity that we reference when we talk about Garrett Nussmeier right there. I think anytime, look, there's no one pathway to success. And I don't mind if a player needs a more gentle coaching style. But I tend to, if we're just talking preferences, I tend to prefer guys who want to be MF'd a little bit, who want to be pushed, you want to be challenged, you want to be told that your crap does indeed stink and you need to fix it. And Garrett Nussmeier seems like that sort of player, right? There's an honesty there. And one of the most attractive parts about him and Coach Sloan's relationship is that he is going to push him. And he's not just going to accept mediocrity or laziness or lackadaisiality. And I think that could only pay positive dividends in the future. And so now that relationship is able to work even better in concert on the field because of the in-helmet communication. when I talk about Garrett Nussmeier, I'm always mentioning the drive against Wisconsin. 6 minutes left, 94 yards. Well, he was asked about that at Manning Pass Academy. Here's what he said. When your back's against the wall like that, you can't really think about much. You just take it play by play. Can't think about the situation. Can't think about what's going on. You just focus on executing. I know that's something I've been trying to work on a lot as I've grown up, like we talked about earlier, just growing up from 2 years ago. And now I was just doing my job and doing things the way I'm coached to do them. I guess you could say it was kind of cool, and it really was. But I'd say we're excited for this season to get to be out there to play again. And look, that is what the greats do. I always think back to the Last Dance documentary. And I think the most impactful, most important part of the Last Dance documentary about the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan was hearing people describe Michael Jordan's ability to be present. Because it's near impossible to be present when you have the anxiety of the future or the regret of the past weighing down upon you. It's very hard to do in any facet of life. However, that present frees you from the anxiety of the future and the regrets of the past. And in a sporting sense, I say superpower because it's something that just gives you an advantage over anybody that you're facing. It suddenly doesn't matter if you make or miss the shot because all that matters is doing the correct steps to get to the shot. And then you just shoot it and you see what happens. And you let the chips fall where you may. So Garrett Nussmeier is staring down a 94-yard field, and he's not focusing on what happens if I don't get this done. And we lose to Tanner Mordecai and Wisconsin, and you go 9-4 in a year in which you had a Heisman winner, thanks to an all-time bad defense. I mean, the entire temperature of the offseason is wholly different than what it ended up being. He had an entire year's worth of work, because what is the saving grace for this year for Brian Kelly, for last year? It's that you won 10 games. This man had an entire year's worth of work and an offseason's worth of narrative hanging over his head in that moment, and he wasn't worried about failure, but he also wasn't worried about what happens if I pull it off, the glories to be attained. No. Quote, can't think about the situation, can't think about what's going on. You just focus on executing. That's what the greats do. One snap and clear. Be present. Be where your feet are. Don't focus on the next play. Be focused on this play. What is the next action that you have to take in order to achieve your set out goals? And hearing him be cognizant of that presence, of not letting the settings get to you as a player, I think that's massive, and I think that's probably the most important trait that you can have at that position. Like, there is no other position where presence matters more than that of quarterback. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited for Garrett Nussmeier, and I think you should be as well. And every little tidbit that we get from him in the media, or how he's both performed and spoken at Manning Passing Academy, continues to shovel coal into the proverbial hype train for me. So, what do you think? When we get back here on Off the Bench, talk a little New Orleans Saints again, as ESPN ranked their top 32. They ranked the 32 NFL rosters. Where did the Saints fall? We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. You need steel, be it steel buildings, roofing, sheet metal, purlin, tubing, any of your steel accessories. It's all made and manufactured right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. Now, they go straight to the wholesaler. They get their steel. Again, they make it there on site. So you're getting the best prices because there's no middlemen jacking up the price on the back end, taking advantage of a lack of options like some of these national companies do. So most importantly, maybe for you, the price point is the best, but the quality of the steel. I love the human touch. The older I get, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's like my favorite bookshop, favorite web, a curated human touch, the ability to form a relationship with the people that you're buying from, it's the best. And that's why they have a live and local sales team ready to serve you and your personal or steel or business steel needs 24/7. Go to communitysteelco.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tad and yo, welcome back, OTB. On the Lucky Dog discussion in the chat. Lucky dogs or whatever. They're fine. It is the classic. Like, can we be objective judges when's the last time anyone has eaten a sober Lucky Dog? I've never eaten a sober Lucky Dog. To be fair, has anyone?
Well, I mentioned in the chat, I've never had it, period.
Okay.
I've never had a Lucky Dog.
Okay, great. Way to go, guys. See what I have to deal with, guys?
I mean, there's just not one near me.
Just.
Yeah, is there a Lucky Dog in Baton Rouge?
No.
Okay, then.
If I go to New Orleans, I don't think I'm just going to go to get a
No,
hot
I'm going to
dog.
Willie's Chicken.
Yeah, like I'm not.
When you leave Bourbon, you're?
Yeah, I'm going to Willie's.
Oh man, I had something I wanted to get to before the Saints, but now I've lost it, so we can just go ahead and we'll just go ahead and dive in. All right, so ESPN.com ranked the 32 NFL rosters, and the New Orleans Saints, not the worst, not the best, right? I mean, like, you know, I never know in these things. Again, this is a team that has the least amount of bets, or did a few weeks, the least amount of bets in the entirety of the NFL to win the Super Bowl. So nobody believes in them. Dennis Allen was, what poll was that? Was that a player or fan poll? When Dennis Allen was chosen as literally the worst coach in the entire NFL. I guess what I'm getting at is there's a lot of reasons where I thought maybe I was going to open this list and the Saints would be at like 25 or 26, right? A struggling offensive line, an aging defense. When you talk about relying on like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, Derek Carr isn't exciting for people at all. Of course, if you're just ranking rosters, then like somebody like Clint Kubiak, you can't use him as a boon or saying, oh yes, well he will make this work. No, it's just supposed to be what you have on your roster. So you know what? Color me a bit surprised. The New Orleans Saints come in 20th on this list, 20th, which is not great. Again, you obviously don't want to be in the bottom half of this list. But when you look at your peers, it's also not the worst, because who checks in at number 19? The Atlanta Falcons. Who checks in at number 22? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right behind you. And then who checks in at number 29, I believe? The Carolina Panthers. So you may be kind of bad, but you're right on the edge of being the best of the bad. And that's all you got to be in the NFL. It's all you got to be this season. You need to win the NFC South. It's something that we gave you the benefit of the doubt for the last 2 years, right? The last 2 years, the offseason narrative on the New Orleans Saints has been, well, they should win the South because everybody else sucks just a little worse. Like, yes, they suck probably, but everybody else sucks a little worse. And especially was the case last offseason where you bring in Derek Carr, Tampa brings in Baker Mayfield, and everybody's kind of like, okay, yeah, like absolutely now. All this division's garbage, but the Saints should be the best of the garbage. That did not come to pass. And yet, here we sit again, and, well, I don't think many are going to predict this. They definitely have as good of a shot as any of winning this division. In fact, the only team that feels like they don't have a shot, I guess, are the Panthers. The Falcons roster may be better. I still do have some major questions about the Falcons defensively. That said, I think the Raheem Morris hire is probably a good one. If for nothing else, then maybe just a bit of change or shakeup was needed in Atlanta after a few Arthur Smith years, culminating in last season where you just, you know, you have that's the funny part about the Falcons disconnect is here their roster sits one slot ahead of you because they have these elite offensive weapons. But why did Arthur Smith get fired? Because he refused to engage with these elite offensive weapons. He refused to play them or highlight them or manipulate creative matchups for them. Now, that maybe changes under Raheem Morris. We'll see. But in the same way, Falcons and Saints, always two peas in a pod, whether it's in failing together, hating each other, or maybe randomly getting good at times. Both seem to leave a lot on the table offensively last year. Now, both are looking to fix it. I love the Clint Kubiak angle to maybe take this roster and put it right ahead of Atlanta, even though they rank one spot ahead of you on this list. Taylor, our resident Baker Mayfield correspondent, how do Baker and the Bucs feel about being ranked behind both teams that they finished ahead of last season?
You know, I didn't ask them, so I'm not sure. I don't think it really matters at this point in the season. I mean, I think last year the Bucs were actually projected to have like the worst record in the NFL. Like a lot of people thought they'd finish dead last. I will say this though, like the Saints being ranked ahead of the Panthers and the Bucs does kind of make sense to me. I mean, we talked about it like The Bucks didn't make any big moves. They just kind of brought back the guys they needed to, which, I mean, you had a roster that won the NFC South, good on you, but
yeah, it's a little bit of a dangerous tact.
Yeah, I thought the Saints drafted a little bit better. I mean, if you could sneak up on the Falcons, like, you could win this division.
And again, like, do we have any great reason? I mean, I guess Kirk Cousins, in the same way that Derek Carr was the reasons last year, you think that Kirk Cousins is going to be the reason this year why maybe the Falcons are in the driving seat, even though I still got questions about how you come back from an Achilles tear. But if anybody can do it, quarterback's probably the friendliest position to do it. And Kirko's going to put in the work, if nothing else. And reportedly, he looks great in that regard. For what it's worth, the New York Giants were given the worst roster in the entirety of the NFL. I don't know that there's been a more just bafflingly bad recent run of front office moves than the New York Giants decisions. Whether it's that hilarious picture of Dave Gettleman with his giant notebook on a crappy little laptop trying to figure out how the internet works to draft players, choosing to pay Daniel Jones that insane amount of money over Saquon Barkley and others because, like, you just thought it was Daniel Jones bringing you success for some reason, even though he does this wide-eyed thing that's as weird as Adam Gase or, like, I don't know. Daniel Jones is not to be trusted. But anyway, I feel bad for Malik Neighbors. Giants given the worst roster in the entire NFL. The Broncos with their projected starter of Bo Nix at 30. Jaden Daniels and the Commies at 31. Jaden Daniels and the Commies at 30. Good luck on Jaden. I was a bit surprised, though, because I feel like the Commanders have a pretty good roster, but
he added a lot in the offseason. I mean, you had Eckler, you added a couple of receiving weapons for him. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but ESPN does, apparently, and Bill Barnwell and company, and I would say he knows. So in terms of who's first on this list, you have the Detroit Lions checking in at 5, the New York Jets checking in at 4. You know, ESPN and Greeny love some Aaron Rodgers talk. So it's a pretty smart play by them there. The Ravens checking in at 3. That makes all the sense in the world. The Ravens feel like they've had a top 5 solid roster in the NFL for damn near 20 years now. It's just constant with those guys. The Chiefs come in at number 2 because if you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, nothing else matters. And the San Francisco 49ers, wouldn't you know it, the number 1 roster in the NFL, even with the Trey Lance debacle still sitting there just a couple of years ago. But your New Orleans Saints checking in at 20. Again, Derek Carr, top 12 quarterback. I will never stop banging the drum. Taylor, before we move on from this, anything else that you wanted to comment on from this list?
I really thought the Saints would be lower as well, just because, like you mentioned, the opinion around the league is not very high on Carr especially, but maybe people are starting to come around. I mean, it was the player list you were asking about earlier. Dennis Allen was very last on that list. And
it was a player list.
And a couple people put out these roster rankings a couple weeks ago. New Orleans was coming in at like 27, 28. I mean, moving up a little bit. You're allowed to get better in the offseason. It kind of seems like that's the look around the NFL now.
Look, it all comes down to the offensive line, man, for the Saints team. If that offensive line is middle of the pack, I think this will be a very good offense. If they suck, then obviously a disaster and nothing works. But, like, I don't think they have to be great. They just have to be solid. Be 16. My super sweet 16. Do it, O-line. That's what we need you to do. Firmly middle of the pack, and I think the Saints will make the playoffs. And Derek Carr will be a top 12 quarterback. But Trevor Penning, Cesar Ruiz, if you fail us and you suck again, well, then the Saints suck again. You'll only go as far as the fat guys go. So let's hope here's to hoping we have some successful fatties up front there this year. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers. You go to trashsignup.com. If you live in Ascension or live in Parish, you need somebody for your waste management. You can see your number of you can pick up days, select your number of cans, see the price, all in a matter of 3 minutes. But I don't care where you live in the listening area. If you are a business owner And you're like, damn, T-Bob, I'm sick of dealing with these national guys. Don't give a damn. Don't serve my needs. Aren't reliable. They're not efficient. They don't show up. Well, guess what? Here at Trash Rangers, we got what you need, baby. Okay, you need front load dumpsters? Hell yeah. I got the biggest front load dumpsters your little brain can imagine. Plus, you need pickup days. You need to be serviced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. Again, we got you. Because here at Trash Rangers, we understand that businesses have unique needs. We understand best how to serve said needs. So get in touch with them today, trashrangersllc.com, and let's work out a little deal, man.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, EA Sports, you bums. Bruce Feldman got it right, ranking LSU as the #1 toughest place to play in the entire stadium. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think that checks out. He has Alabama #2. Which I know Jake Papu's Alabama. I would say this. I agreed with them the first time I played there in 2009, and then they did the upgrades where they went to like 100,000. And granted, that 2011 game was like a massive deal, so of course everybody was really lubed up. But I do believe in 2011 that was one of the loudest stadiums that I've ever played in. So I'd say that there he is. Penn State 3, that checks out. Ohio State 4, Virginia Tech 5. Shout out Lane Stadium. Screw you, Taylor. Florida in the Swamp at 6. Weren't you the one crapping on Lane Stadium the other day?
No, I was the one that said I wanted to go.
I
to Lane
apologize. My bad.
Stadium.
You're right. I forgot. You're literally like going out of your way to go to Lane. That's all.
Yeah, I do want to go.
Tennessee 7, Oregon 8, 9, Georgia 10, Kyle Field. So a bit vastly different from Kyle Field being ranked number 1 in EA Sports rankings. Taylor, can you get me the EA Sports overall rankings for LSU offense, defense, and overall? I believe LSU coming in as the 8th rated team overall, giving you an idea of how well they've recruited, the kind of what you've built up over the last couple of years under Brian Kelly, and where the expectation should be going into this season. It's interesting. I look at this LSU team, and I actually think it's a very friendly schedule, as we discussed. And the more and more I think about it, again, I'm going to continue to naturally check myself and my sunshine pumping. And so I'll continue to say 9-3, 9-3, 9-3, because you do have question marks kind of everywhere, and it's what you've done the last couple of years. However, if you had managed to beat Florida State either of the last 2 years, well, you would have been 10-2. You went 6-2 both years in the SEC. And I see an SEC slate that when you look at how it breaks down, the homes, the aways, I think 6-2 is definitely on the table once again. And if you manage to achieve that, well, then I believe you'll beat USC this year. And I think you should go 10-2. So and then there's also interesting things like where if you transfer in, look at the blue chip ratio. If you factor the transfer portal, like you are a top 10 most talented team in the entire country. And so the more I think about it, it's more like, well, there's kind of no excuse maybe for you not to be in this 12-team playoff in 2024. And maybe that's a bit of what maybe I'm giving them a bit too much leeway in accepting 9-3 as the bar here. Where you return what should be one of the more exciting quarterbacks in the country, one of the best offenses, and a defense that needs help, but a defense that should be much better coached this year.
There you go.
Okay,
so offensive power rankings,
yes,
8.
Okay, makes sense. Who's ahead of them? Ohio State, Texas. Go back to offensive. You got Ohio State, Texas, Oregon. Alabama, Oregon, and Georgia ahead of LSU. Again, just fascinated at the rise of Oregon here. Okay, that makes sense to me for sure.
And then
we broke down defensively, 18th. Yeah, which again we said a bit surprising. And if you did finish, not to say this is saying you're going to finish ranked 18, but if you did, that would be just a massive win, and you probably go 10-2 and accomplish everything we just talked about. Give me the overall rankings here, though, because remember, guys, we're a couple of weeks away. It's July 1st. This game drops July 16th. Now, unfortunately, it just sucks that we're going to be at SEC Media Days when it drops. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to. I don't think we're going to be able to do everything that I wanted to do on launch day, but we got a ton planned for it anyway. So coming in, the team power rankings number, and again, this should give you an idea of how maybe this could be a bit flawed. Miami's at what, 13? It says. So this is interesting. It is Ole Miss 15, A&M 14, Miami 13. Ole Miss continues to get a lot of love in the rankings because of what they did the last couple of years. But when you look at like blue chip ratio and obviously something like this, which is going to factor heavily on like your roster makeup and where guys are ranked, not coming in that high. But LSU at number 8, bring that list back up. LSU at number 8 on this list with Notre Dame right ahead, Clemson ahead of them. Again, you say Clemson, what? Because this is just ratings based off the players. And, well, Clemson does have still one of the best top-to-bottom rosters in the country. Texas, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, and then Georgia, which, of course, Georgia and Ohio State seem to be two rosters that are kind of outliers with maybe Oregon and Alabama. Well, I would say Alabama is a part of that crew as well. And the key difference between Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State is they return their quarterback. That's how I would rank the rosters, right? Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama existing in their own tier. Oregon, Texas in the next tier. And then you get into your Clemson, Notre Dame's, LSU, probably Miami's right up there as well. So, look, again, a lot of evidence starting to show that maybe I should raise my expectations for the LSU Tigers. What do you think? You think they make a playoff, get that 10-2 regular season record? Let me know in the chat, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Coming up next, let's close out hour number 2. We got some random, interesting NBA developments to touch on real quick. We have our Tay NFL story of the day coming up in hour 3 and a brand new weekend winners to kick off hour 3. So if you want to go ahead and start to get some of yours in the chat, we can throw those in as well. Keep it locked right here, youtube.com/1045 ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You need a brand new Toyota Sienna minivan. Of course you do. The MVG, baby. You already know how we do. That's the minivan game. Well, you can do that with All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. I noticed something the other day. It's kind of dumb. I was driving back from the lake yesterday, and with the new Sienna, the one that's a hybrid. And, well, look, the gas mileage is incredible. The money you save is fantastic. You don't have to worry about charging your car either. But you can even manipulate it while you're driving, right? There's a little bar that shows you, okay, you're in the eco zone, you're in the battery charging zone, you're in the kind of power zone where you're actually burning gas. So if you like really are a stickler, you want to get meticulous with that thing, you can push that mileage even further. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to make this whole read about the Toyota Sienna, but my God, I love it. The point is, whatever you need, Toyota Sienna's, there it goes. All-Star Toyota's got it. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, I got it.
Get the 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined we...
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Alondra, how'd the bounce house with the Miners go?
It went really well.
Weekend.
They were living their best lives.
Yeah?
Like, when I tell you you were saying I can't fathom something funner for a kid's birthday party. Like,
Yeah, then a lock-in at I thought it was a trampoline park, but bounce house also very fun.
They were bounce houses. It was at Jump and Jive, and they, like I said, were living their best lives. Alexa and I did try to like bounce and play tag with them, and of course they kept trying to get us in it because we're like the adults, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So they kept trying to tag us, and we're too old to be on the bounce. Like I was,
it's like me at the rave.
Yes, I was.
You want to be there, but
dizzy.
sometimes you just outgrow it.
I know, and it was kind of like a rave. One of them had like the lights off in the bounce house, and they had like lights going in it. Of course, they were playing some Taylor Swift blasting through the speakers. All the little girls.
You were right at home. You're like, guys, I love Tay-Tay. Let me dance with you, please.
Yes. And like Lydia, she was having so much fun. They blow up like this huge chair for you to like open your presents in, and everybody's just like, what? I don't know.
More exciting news, or more exciting to you. A lock-in at the bounce house in which you were drinking and playing with minors, or Chris Paul. What? I'm just doing your best Dr. Disrespect.
No, I know.
Or Chris Paul joining Wemby in San Antonio.
So as fun as the bounce house was, I am very, very excited about CP3 joining Wemby. It's a 1-year, $11 million deal, and I am like with Wemby, Stephon Castle, who they just drafted.
4th overall.
Yes, and with CP3, that is going to be something serious, and I'm very, very excited.
Taylor, you seem to be expressing.
I know,
what's the old LA Noir meme? Press X to doubt. It looks like you just pressed X.
Love the Stephon Castle move at this point in his career. If this was a 4-year ago signing, yes. And now Chris Paul,
I don't know.
What do you mean? Chris Paul's like the young team whisperer. You just send him to...
I believe in it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm feeling this.
Like, if you need somebody to help teach the young guys the way, Chris Paul does that.
No, I get that, but like the Spurs need a lot of pieces. Like they're in rebuilding. They need on-court production, not just.
And they got Chris Paul.
He'll give you on-court production though.
A little.
I think more than a little.
I think it'll be.
I think $11 million worth.
Yeah.
What about Valanciunas just signed 3 for $30?
No,
You're telling me from an intangible and on-court perspective, Chris Paul isn't very worth for $11 million?
I don't hate the signing. I don't know how much of an impact he's going to have.
I think he will have a good impact on this team.
I think the Spurs are going to make the playoffs now because that's what Chris Paul does. He signs to the team, they go to the playoffs, except for the Warriors. We don't count that last year because that doesn't enforce my point. But besides that, I think the Spurs are now a playoff team. So get ready. Just another team that you're going to have to overcome in the West. Do we have that theme park video ready to go? Yeah. So this reminds me of one of my own favorite memories, which is going to theme parks with the football team during bowl season. I'll never forget me and the boys trying to ride Double Dragon. And we had a news camera following us. And I don't know how these clips are made out, but the attendants to strap us in literally had to hang from the track and put their feet on the chest guard and kick it and like use their legs to finally get it to click in. Here's an entire offensive line trying to ride a log flume.
There you go, pull it. Pull, suck it in. Hey! Pull it tight, pull it tight. One more inch, one more. Don't let him go without it. They let him go with no belt. They let that boy go with no belt. Hey, hold on. better hold on to that poor guy.
Hey, the boys took their shirts off.
Hold on!
Oh! Oh my God! I think they broke it. Oh my God! To the end, you don't have to play with audio, but I want the whole visual on loop here because they were all also shirtless at the end, bellies out, waving their shirts above their heads. I mean, we're talking probably, let's say like 300 a person. What was there? About 15 people there. What does it come out to? Like 4,500 pounds? Talking about probably damn near 5,000 pounds with a human being on a single water ride. And when I tell you the splash when this thing hit the water, I mean, again, that was comedic. It was 100 yards in the air, it looked like. The cameraman thinking he was outside of the splash. Look at them all waving their shirts going up. Thinking they're outside the splash zone could not have been more wrong. Wow. Okay, keep it playing though, Taylor. I got to see them all. I got to see the boys looking happy. Look at that, dude.
That is a serious splash.
That's just good fun. The boat looks like he can barely move in the water. It's about to tip over.
And then they're like, one more time.
Yes.
One more time.
That makes me so happy, dude. Shout out to the fellas. See, that's what I want out of my offensive linemen. If only the New Orleans Saints could achieve that. Derek Carr will be a top 12 quarterback. My testicles will be safe, and the New Orleans Saints will make the playoffs. Here's to hoping they can find a way. All right, coming up next to kick off hour number 3, we're going to do weekend winners, and we got Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. But if you want to get your weekend winners in, youtube.com/1045ESPN, we'll throw the best ones into our list and discuss them as well. Sorry, Mexico, you will not be finding your way on 2 weekend winners as you've been eliminated from Copa America. Hour 3 coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Agitip of Baton Rouge, agitipbr.com for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. You want to go to Agitip. Take control of your comfort zone today. See that? It's an unhealthy cough. If you have like an AC system, again, heating system, any electrical problems that sound like that cough or that evoke the same feelings that cough does, the consternation, well, you get in touch with Agitip and you're good, man. And you're going to experience service to the highest degree, which is at the core of everything they do. It's why their ratings are so otherworldly good, because there's a consistency to Agitip, a level of service where they leave no stone unturned in trying to solve your problem. I've had Agitip employees on a Friday afternoon drive all around Baton Rouge to get the last remaining part they need to fix my AC for people coming in town for the weekend. Again, it's not unique. It's just representative of their everyday approach. So any AC, heat, and electrical needs, you need a generator, you want Agitip, Agitip Baton Rouge, agitipbr.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
First off, he's 30 years old and we're 11. He's like, why is he on the team? Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, July 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 99. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. Then we'll continue to talk about the latest NBA developments. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. We're going to do weekend winners. We've added another member to the studio here as intern Bailey is back. She'll give you a little F1 update from over the weekend as well. We got winners here. We got Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. LSU at the Olympics, they still haven't touched on. Quick little update there. Some more random NBA developments, and I'm tempted to maybe play the entirety of the new SEC shorts. I probably won't, because many of you will accuse me of being lazy, which would be an undeniably accurate accusation. Because, yeah, I basically just want to not do work for a segment while I play these 6-minute videos. That's very funny. But we'll see. We probably won't end up doing that, unfortunately, because I'm a man of honor and integrity. Right now, let's dive in. Why you guys look confused? Those are both true. Right now, let's dive in to some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
My first weekend winner. Let me find the accent. Hold on. Robbie Ashford. Team England finding a way to advance through the round of 16 with an undeniably exciting finish against Slovakia. In case you missed it, England down 1-0 in stoppage time. Cody Bellingham comes up with an incredible bicycle kick off of a volley, a throw-in, little volley off the dome, Bellingham bicycle. They tie it up, and then again, Harry Kane comes up with the game-winning goal in the same stoppage time. An unreal finish as England looked like they were done. Gareth Southgate finished, and yet they find a way. Maybe a bit ironically, after the game, who do y'all think Cody Bellingham quoted?
I'm going to go
one of the
with
great World War II leaders.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say Ted Lasso.
No, one of the great World War II leaders. If you were from England, who would you quote?
Oh, probably Winston Churchill.
Wrong. He quoted Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay.
He went on Instagram and he posted the entirety of Theodore's Man in the Arena speech.
Love.
Which we read the other day. Love the speech, but like, come on, bro. You come up with like an incredible late game, pull it out of nowhere, Battle of Dunkirk equalizer, and you can't even give me like a keep calm and carry on. Or like anything. You go with Teddy? Like somewhere out there, Winston Churchill is rolling over in his grave. He just ate the entire cigar he was chomping on, and he had to drink another glass of bourbon because of how upset he is. Shout out England, though. Incredible.
All right, weekend winner for me, Wyatt Langford.
Gross.
He hit for just the 11th cycle in Texas Rangers history. So Wyatt Langford, a rookie with the cycle.
That's insane.
He hit, he tripled in the 4th, doubled in the 5th, singled in the 6th, and
saved the home run for last.
Yep, hit a 3-run home run down the left field line in his final at bat, and they snapped their 6-game losing streak with Wyatt Langford's cycle.
Talk about just an incredible. Just an first Rangers rookie to hit for the cycles. That's actually surprising. I thought it'd be first rookie to hit for the cycle.
Yeah, rookie ever, right?
Yeah, or like since 85. It said first Rangers rookie to hit for the cycle since 85.
Yeah.
You're talking about a way to garner the respect of your veteran teammates. Go ahead and do something that the majority of them have never done in their entire lives. I mean, probably
insane.
much less like just on the professional level. Shout out Wyatt Langford.
Yeah. That was my weekend winner.
Do baseball players' cycles team up? Or do they like time up?
Yeah,
Like,
they actually do. Somebody's going to hit one
If they
today.
all-
will one of the others now if it happens?
Yeah.
I mean, if they all hang around each other
Like
a
long
lot,
enough.
yeah,
Which I mean, in the
cycles,
clubhouse, I
yeah.
figure you do.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who will be next. Taylor?
Maybe Josh Smith, another Ranger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My first weekend winner,
Wow, forgot about that.
Paul George. Our
The
guy
Beatle?
got a bag over the weekend. 4-year,
Of what? Cocaine?
$212 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. And now they got a nice little trio with George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey. So he's $212 million richer, weekend winner Paul George.
Yeah, that's a big boy. And remember, George, just an all-star last year, too. So, like, in no way cooked or anything. All three of these, you mentioned Maxey, George, Embiid, all all-stars last year. And I love this quote from the Clippers front office. They are coping very hard. I believe this comes from social media. Quote, we traded a lot to pair Paul and Kawhi, and in exchange, we had 5 seasons of contention. Even though we fell short of our ultimate objective, we appreciate the chances we had with Paul. That's all very sweet, but I'm not someone who believes in a championship or bust expectation. I still believe that the Clippers underperformed. Like I would say they maybe overperformed this last season specifically, but when this duo was originally put together, it was supposed to be the next big thing, and yet every single year it felt like they found themselves fighting for the playoffs.
It is not that dissimilar to the Pelicans because whether it was George or Kawhi, they could not stay healthy together at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot like Zion and Brandon Ingram.
But at the same time, the Pelicans didn't give up everything to acquire them. I just love how sad that quote is. We traded a lot.
We tried.
Kawhi, Paul, we traded a lot to get these guys, and they gave us 5 years of contention. It's like, okay, well, the Pelicans have been very similar to the Clippers for the last 3 years with none of the price tag involved. All right, my next weekend winner. How about Simone Biles? Did y'all see the freaking highlights of the floor routine from Simone Biles? 27 years old, still dominating the trials, claiming the lone automatic spot onto the 5 women U.S. gymnastics team. Her routine, while not perfect, I think she might have stepped out at one point, but she had a vault, not a vault because it's on the floor. What do you call it? A tumble, a pass? I've never seen anything like it. People have still, like, the height that she achieved as she pulled I don't know what the correct way to say it. It's either a double, triple, full, or triple, double, full. She did 2 flips and 3 spins, the literal hardest tumbling move we have in gymnastics. And in doing so, she was at one point 12 feet in the air, generating enough power and pop to go 12 feet in the air.
That's actually crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all.
12 feet. Again, if I should have put it in there, but Taylor, just find me the video. But in the past months now, or in the past 12 months, Simone Biles doing her best John Wick impression, right? People keep asking me if I'm back. I'm thinking I'm back. As she's won a 6th all-around world title. She's won both her 8th and 9th national championships over the past 12 months, both of which are records. And remember, this is supposed to be a young girls game, right? Like 16, 17, 18, 27 years old. And Simone Biles, once again, after overcoming the anxieties and mental struggles of the last Olympics, back and the prohibitive favorite for gold. I think this first one is going to be the pass right here. Watch this. Unbelievable. 2 full flips, 3 full spins, and not even a wobble on the ground. Shout out Simone Biles.
Shout out Simone Biles. That's actually incredible.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, I can't even. All right, weekend winner for me, Alex Pereira. He had a, like...
Oh, I said Cody Bellingham that whole time. Jude Bellingham. My bad.
You were probably thinking Cody Bellinger.
I was. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Alex
thing.
Pereira, he had one of the most bad A knockouts of Yuri that I've ever seen. So, like, don't post videos of yourself warming up.
The sweet science,
Poeton
dude.
gonna get you.
I know they
gold.
Bad.
Yeah, really bad. But yeah, shout out Poeton.
All right, next winner.
I got a weekend loser, and I hate to do it, but my weekend loser is Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss right down the road. So on Friday, 4-star running back, you're going to love this name, Kylan Deere. He pulled his commitment from Ole Miss. Now, that may not seem like that big of a deal on the surface, but that was their 4th decommitment just last week. They lost 4 4-star commitments in last calendar's week, topped off by a 4-star running back that they desperately needed. Yeah, 2025 class. He is the 4th top 300 player to decommit.
Why? Like, have we gotten a reason?
Nope.
Interesting. Weekend winner, Angel Reese. How about this? So I see a lot of clips online clowning Angel Reese for, like, I don't know, like sloppy play, basically, essentially, right? And what better way to get back on the haters than to do something that's literally never been done in WNBA history, which is exactly what Angel Reese just did. The first WNBA player to post a double-double in 10 consecutive games during a single season. Now, it may be first rookie, but to my understanding, it's the first player ever in 10 consecutive games. Maybe rookie. It could be wrong there, but had 7 points and 14 boards with a minute remaining, streak on the line. She finds a way to finish with 10 and 16. And how about this? She's actually tied with Aja Wilson as the WNBA's highest rebounding average per game. Only 4 players in the league over 10 per game. One of them, Angel Reese. Shout out, Angel Reese, weekend winner.
Shout out, Angel.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah,
My last weekend winner was the Spurs, and we already talked about that. Signed CP3 to a 1-year, $11 million deal.
They're back.
Yeah, they're back. I may take back my Greg Popovich.
Poppy 3.
Yeah. CP3, Castle, and Wemby is gonna be a problem.
Papa Paul.
Yeah.
I feel like Popovich and CP3 also probably have a great relationship from like
do.
Team USA and being together in the game, just in the NBA for like, okay, Cortland saying it said WNBA, not rookie. Okay, I just thought I was checking myself there, but yeah.
All right, I think our girl
Bailey, you got one?
I think she has a weekend loser.
There we go, Bailey, weekend loser. What happened?
Okay, so the past Formula One race has been in Austria. So it was the Austrian Grand Prix. And the two names you need to know are Max Verstappen,
Yep.
who is the championship leader,
Yeah.
who races for Red Bull.
The old Wunderkind came up, like when they first started Drive to Survive, he was like, "Ooh, this is the next big thing." And yes, now he's
Yep.
won like multiple championships since.
Yep. And then Lando Norris, who
I don't know
drives,
Lando.
He drives for McLaren.
Okay.
He's recently become second in the standings, and
Okay.
he's slowly working his way up. Max Verstappen, the Red Bull team, they had a really slow pit stop.
Yeah.
Which caused the gap between the two to he was still the race leader, but Lando Norris was
Lando
only
caught
2
up.
seconds behind instead of 6. And then Lando tried to overtake him, and then Max bumped him out at turn 3. And then both cars sustained damage, but
Oof.
Max Verstappen was able to get back in, but Lando's car had too much damage. But Max Verstappen secured his P5 position even with a 10-second penalty.
Damn. Okay, so Verstappen survived the incident. I thought during the commercial break when I heard y'all talking about it, I thought they both wrecked. So
He had damage, but he had not enough to completely take him out the race.
Damn. And Lando didn't.
Yeah.
I can't believe that we have an incredible racer named Lando. All I can think about now is Lando Calrissian in the Millennium Falcon. One of the coolest characters ever. Shout out Billy D. Williams. How did you, you're in high school now, how did you get into F1?
It was a little bit right after COVID. My family was just going through channels.
Yeah.
And then we came across a race, and then we've just been watching ever since.
So Drive to Survive wasn't your first
Nope.
toe in the water. It was the actual race itself. Wow. Bailey's a real one. There you go. Our new F1 correspondent for as long as we have her. Shout out Verstappen finding a way. They should make a Cars sequel working in the F1 cars, which to be fair, I haven't seen Cars 2, and they probably do some of that in Cars 2 since it's all in Europe and everything.
They do have a little bit of that.
Okay. My next weekend winner, Zay Thomas. Who's Zay Thomas? He's a 4-star cornerback who just committed to Florida State. You're like, okay, T-Bob, explain. I need more. The first ever member of the Seminole tribe to be a scholarship football player for the Seminoles. They had a walk-on back in 2017 that got some garbage time, even scored a garbage time touchdown. But Zay looks like he could be a big-time player for Florida State. Again, a true-blooded member of the Seminole tribe, now representing for the Florida State Seminoles. I think that's pretty freaking cool. Shout out Zay Thomas. Speaking of young people doing incredible things, shout out to 16-year-old Quincy Wilson. Quincy, Taylor, you'll appreciate this as a 400 runner, 16 years old, just got selected to the U.S. Olympic team relay pool for the 400. Wilson ran a sub 45 3 times at the Olympic trials, including a 44.59, which is an under 18 world record at 16 years old, running sub 45s and heading to Paris on the Olympic team.
Man, I think that, a lot of the college guys are running 48s. This is a guy 16 years old. When he's a senior in high school, this dude's going to pick where he goes. He can get that down to 40 seconds. That's national champion caliber.
And now, for myself, I'll highlight Faustino Oro. He's a 10-year-old from Argentina who just became the youngest ever international master in chess. At 10 years, 8 months, and 16 days, he is now the youngest ever to achieve the title of IM. He will likely be the youngest ever to achieve the title of GM. He may be one of the next great, he will be, I think, one of the next great players. That much is obvious. Who knows if the next great world champion will be coming out of South America. They're calling him the Messi of chess. Shout out Faustino. Good luck in your GM pursuit. And what a weird sport game, whatever you want to call it, that it is, where you could be a 20-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old grandmaster. Maybe if you're in your 20s, you're probably in your prime, 50, 60, you're on the way, and a 10-year-old just comes and whoops your ass. It's crazy. I get my ass kicked by kids all the time online in chess, so I get it, but shout out Faustino Oro. Also, speaking of Austria, Bailey, the U.S. under-20 football team, whatever it is, once again failing America and losing to Austria in the bronze medal match in the World Championship games. What are these? The World Games, whatever. Remember, the U.S. team got its butt kicked by Japan the other day. Got absolutely smashed, and then they followed it up by losing and not even medaling to Austria 35-28.
On Independence Week.
Yeah.
That is just brutal.
Brutal.
It's embarrassing for our country, because we created American football, obviously. Yeah. But look, probably the best of the best in other people's countries are playing on these teams. Who is actually on the U.S. under-20 football team?
That's fair.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Because I don't think the best of the best are playing on these other teams.
I mean, maybe.
I think the best of the best are playing other sports in these other countries. I think both are bringing the dregs to the fore, and I don't know what has gone so wrong with our team that we're not at least meddling.
It shouldn't matter, but
fire the coach.
Yeah.
Okay?
Get rid of him.
Whoever you are.
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Fire him. We're mad. The same way I didn't care until we lost. Like we didn't care about cricket until we won, and then we only cared that one news cycle. Well, I'm pissed.
This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree.
Austria?
Daniel Basham says they have a bunch of Taylors on the team. I know.
No, because he said they lost 2 in a row. They're not on a 2-game winning streak, so that's not possible.
So yes, they do.
That's not possible.
Washington out T-Bob, what's your analysis of U.S. versus Uruguay tonight? Does Berhalter get canned if we lose out? We can touch on it next, along with Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction. That's PECbuilt.com. PECbuilt.com. You need outdoor living areas, be it like a full outdoor kitchen, maybe just like a little patio type deal. Maybe you need a bulkhead. You live in the water. You need some pergola. You need a fence, any size, any type. You want a custom pool. You want a spec pool. Again, all your outdoor construction needs are there at Pinnacle. Go to PECbuilt.com and look at the gallery, guys. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. It's so freaking nice. And the spec pools, though, are something that I really like to talk about as well, because you choose from a number of templates, and then you choose detail work within the template. So it's not like all these pools are the same, and it's just like, okay, it's just like, here's a little square and we're done. No. Very creative, very nice. You're going to love it. Also, if you need pool maintenance to get your pool ready for the summer, have Pinnacle by your house, get in touch. Or they also offer year-round maintenance plans. PECbuilt.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere,
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Back. OTB. Keep this song playing for a little bit. Turn it up. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, take a nice warm blanket. Just fair warning, guys. I'm gonna play this for like a minute, so just like get comfortable. Shout out America. Ooh. All right. Sorry, I can't. If you play Linger, I have to let it get through the first hook.
No, it's
just,
so good.
I mean, it's impossible not to. Again, the Royal Otis version, which Ryan Smith is referring to the chat. Way to go, Ryan, making up for me having to ban you for hating on John Baptiste earlier. I don't know if it got popular off of TikTok, like it feels like most things do, and then I don't realize they got popular off of TikTok. But the Royal Otis version of Linger, very, very good as well. And I've been listening to it constantly. But yeah, Spencer, that's the line. I mean, that is the line. A couple things that I wanted to touch on. Scott Dice says snaps at noon. Yes. We will do a Monday and Tuesday show on snaps. I doubt we will do Thursday this week, as it'll be the 4th. And by doubt, I mean we won't. But yeah, so it should be a fun show. Snaps today. Me, Aaron Murray, come check it out, hang out as we have now gone independent with the show. Not exactly by choice, right? Cowherd and the Volume deciding not to bring it back, but we ain't leaving, and it's a lot of fun. So you should come hang out if you never have. All right. Real quick, before we get to Tay-Tay's NFL story, the day, I want to touch on LSU at the Olympics as the picture continues to clear up a bit. Javon Harrison had a weird weekend. So it appears that, remember, Javon Harrison, if you don't remember, one of the best high jumpers in the world, won the national championship here at LSU, a key part of that national championship team. I want to say he won, did he win both high jump and triple jump or long jump when he was here, right? But on the world stage, high jump is his event. He's third in the world, so you figured it would be an easy qualification process for him. For whatever reason, just didn't quite have it this weekend. He ends up finishing 4th on Sunday. However, as I read, and I don't fully understand the dynamics here, so I'm just repeating what I've read, he will likely gain a spot on the team as one of only 2 Americans to have attained the Olympic standard of 7 feet and 7 3/4 inches. Now, he did not hit that over this weekend, but he's done it consistently in the past. Again, ranked number 3 in the world right now. Needed a top 3 finish to guarantee a spot. Couldn't quite find it, but will still likely, I don't know why the likely is thrown in there, but according to the Advocate's reporting and a source with the U.S. Olympic team, will likely make it to Paris. So that's good news there. Shout out to former LSU great Vernon Norwood. He'll be in the 4x400 relay team in Paris. And Sha'Carri Richardson, we all knew last weekend, dominating the 100. Her own comeback trail continuing to take on a storybook quality. She has already claimed the title for the 100 meter, the Olympic trials heading to Paris, but took 4th in the 200 over the weekend as she was looking to double compete individually, fell just short of the double bid, needing to be top 3, but she's still in that 4x100 team as well, meaning multiple medals could be heading her way if they can find a way to once again upset Jamaica. So shout out Javon Harrison, shout out Vernon Norwood, shout out Sha'Carri Richardson. All right, let's get to Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day, your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, so this one, unfortunately, does have a bit of LSU flair in it as well. So former number 1 overall draft pick Jamarcus Russell, he was a volunteer assistant coach at his alma mater, Williamson High School out in Mobile, Alabama. He has actually been fired from that position and is facing a lawsuit accusing him of stealing a $74,000 check that was meant for a donation to the school. So a local business owner by the name of Chris Knowles wrote a $74,000 check saying that Russell approached him about a donation to see if he was willing to help the Williamson football team purchase weight room equipment. Well, the school alleges that they never received the check, and Russell reportedly deposited it into a credit union and promptly withdrew $55,000 out of it. In addition to being fired as coach, Russell is also not allowed to be on the school's campus. Russell attended an event for the football team this week, but was told he was not welcome and removed from the premises.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. I had always heard that he had actually done quite well financially with that first contract. I actually had a random conversation recently. And again, this is all kind of hearsay, so I probably shouldn't be speaking on publicly, but I maybe heard that was maybe not the case, actually, that the financial situation may be a little different than I thought, and that maybe, I don't know. This doesn't look good, though. This does not look good at all. It seems tough to defend in terms of how do you beat the allegations. Pretty bold move showing up. What was it, like a banquet or something?
Yeah, it was just like an off-season
Pretty
event,
bold
yeah.
move showing up at the off-season football team event after this has been kind of out in the air and going around. Well, I mean, that's a huge bummer. But, you know, what else do we do? Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day except for
Hey, they have not been
sad.
negative recently. I had about 4 or 5 in a row that were.
Is that true, Alondra? I don't think that's actually true.
I feel like no, but it is true.
Wow, like accuse me before I even answer. I was about to back you up. I actually think that the last few ones kind of were but the other one was like he had to really bring it in because he was Nat King Cole's grandson. But
yeah, that was great. Oh, but it started sad.
It did start sad.
We had the Isaiah Buggs Chronicle, which we all love.
And I wrapped that one up. He wasn't here for that.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
we had Nat King Cole. Then we had a Justin Jefferson story, and then now we had to bring it back around.
Yeah, they've actually been.
We did a story like this
particularly
recently
positive.
here as well, guys. I don't know who needs to hear it, but
Well, didn't Brett
if the
Favre do
situation,
that?
well, the situation is bad enough. I think Brett Favre stole welfare money.
Well,
welfare money.
Favre had a charity or something like that. It wasn't like from the school. Didn't he have like a charity
Never mind.
foundation that he was? Yeah, it was something like that.
I think it was something along those lines. I think it also had
He was
it also
stealing
had
from poor people.
Yeah, it also had something to do with manipulating the welfare system.
Lord.
Which is ironic on so many levels because
Yeah.
he probably complains about government handouts as he's scheming how to take government handouts. But guys,
He's just getting his taxes
if you're in dire enough straits, where stealing from the school seems like the good idea, like buying equipment or saying you're buying equipment, not like you got to draw a hard line. You got to draw a hard line. You want to try to do some white collar crime and steal from like a big corporation or a big business, I say go for it, okay? You may end up getting caught, right? Children's Hospital, probably crossing the line.
I like keep the kids out of it.
I like keep the kids out of
Yeah.
it. Still, they get a lot of money. Children's Hospital does.
Rightfully
I'm just,
so.
guys, relax. I'm kidding. But come on, man. Schools are in dire straits enough. We constantly cut their funding. We ask teachers to do more with less 24/7. Everybody's trying to figure out ways of making it work. Like, you don't need to try to rob them. If you're going to rob somebody or do some white-collar crime or embezzling, let's try to focus on taking advantage of the richer businesses and richer people. Okay?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
White collar crime is the way to do it. If you're going to be doing crime.
T-Bob, you're the damn reason the YouTube videos don't get uploaded. Stop it. What'd I do?
It's the bump music, is what he was saying.
And I've asked.
Oh, they
Do you
still
want me
get
to
they
just
still get
play-
uploaded. They get put
Yeah,
back on.
they get put back
It was-
up.
all it does is demonetize us. Like, we're the only ones that suffer for
I
it.
do put them back up.
Yeah,
That's
good.
what I was saying.
You just
Shout out
mute
Tay-Tay.
you go back in, you mute the segment with the or the sound with like the 30 seconds with the bump music.
Yeah,
Not that
there we
hard.
go. Shout out Tay-Tay. Good job, dude.
To be fair, I've asked y'all if y'all want me to stop doing that.
And
And you've told me no.
I don't want to, personally. I enjoy a little good music in the morning.
Just trying to get the morning started.
Eric Truss is right. Yeah. Office Space showed us the way. Yeah, exactly. See, that's the white collar crime that you need to engage in, guys. Okay. When we get back, more to be good.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com is the website. If you want them window coverings that, wow. Look, have Brandon Barton out to your home and let him tour it, okay? Give you a free estimate, okay? He'll excuse me. He'll do the math and the what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, he'll go around your home and he will figure out the exactly how the sun interplays with your home at all parts of the day, okay? The angles, degrees, everything else. What this allows him to do is give you the best options to increase your home both functionally and aesthetically. My grandma used to say, you know, T-Bob, nothing brings a room together like the correct window coverings. And I said, wow, I can't believe that you're telling me this, because I think in a few years I'll be doing commercials for a window coverings company. I'm going to use this quote to reinforce my points. And here we are. K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man. For whatever that means.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Hey, so Texas and Oklahoma are joining the SEC today. It's official. I also think the Pac-12 network shut down at midnight last night. So, whatever. End of an era, I suppose. Conference realignment in full out. My elbow, dude. Just hit my funny bone on my chair. Why are there so many nerve endings at your elbow? Anyway, do you have the video ready? So A&M and OU are joining the conference officially today, and we have some exclusive video from SEC headquarters in Birmingham.
I'm worried this
Play ball.
Finally, we get to Wait.
There's a reason why Texas A&M left the Big 12, to be standalone, to have our own identity.
I know to play as well as Rave Radio, but that is Bradley Cooper messing with Louis C.K.'s character in American Hustle. And, I mean, he's even better now after what Texas just did to Texas A&M, stealing Schloss Snakel. Like, that video was made when it was announced that Texas still sucked at football. And now Texas is better at football. They just took their baseball coach, poor Louis, or poor A&M, not Louis C.K. He's not actually Texas A&M. Spencer P in the chat says, I can never get behind any chicken biscuit experience I've ever had. Chick-fil-A included. That is a wild take, Spencer.
The honey butter chicken biscuit from Whataburger.
There's about 7,000 chicken biscuits that I can point to that are absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Bojangles has multiple ones. You mentioned Whataburger. Sure, I've never had that one, but yeah,
so
sure.
good.
Chick-fil-A's is great. Like, if you go to a restaurant, like Merchant has an incredible brunch honey butter chicken biscuit that you can get. I think that's pretty shocking admission there, Spencer. But different strokes for different folks, but some different folks are dumb as crap. And that might be kind of dumb as crap's not very funny. There could have been a better ending there, but I was trying to freestyle. Different strokes for different folks, but different folks are dumb ass blokes. Not from the UK, so that's not really going to play. I don't know, guys. When we get back, let's close out the show. A little Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light Video Artels of Blue Moon Light Sky Teachers Read.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, we're located very conveniently right there on Airline and Goodwood. Go see them today for a new car and take advantage of these incredible deals. So you go to the website, you can see some of the deals they got going on constantly, change monthly. Although, remember, our veterans, recent grads, we always got deals for you over there at All-Star. You need a brand new vehicle. Maybe you need something a bit more affordable, and so you want to look at a Toyota certified used vehicle. Maybe leasing is a great option for you. I ended up my way, I found my way to leasing after going in there with this is all I can afford. I have a number, and they found me the exact right answer. And that's what the human touch, this level of service does over there at All-Star. They find the right answer for you and your family. And remember, I tell you all the time about the All-Star Toyota Service Center. All makes and models welcome. Free professional estimates, insurance claims welcome as well. Go in there today, take advantage of the factory parts, the rental cars right there on site, the shuttle service that'll drop you off and pick you back up. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck. your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, welcome back. OTB, let's do a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Art Tilter, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Do y'all believe LSU will make the CFP?
Yes.
I do, yeah.
I just gotta fight against. There's too many question marks. I gotta fight against my natural sunshine pumping. I think there's a lot of friendly opportunity. I think you have too many questions, maybe defensively or all over. So, I'll say no. Ask the bench, who wins in a fight, Aquaman or Superman?
I mean, isn't Superman supposed to be like way more powerful?
His only kryptonite. Wait, what's his kryptonite?
Kryptonite.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
See, like
Oh,
that's
wait, that's
where
the
kryptonite
thing.
comes
Yeah,
from.
you're
That's
right.
kryptonite.
Yeah. So
Something
kryptonite's
is
the only
a
thing that
person's
stops
kryptonite
Superman.
because kryptonite is the only thing that
yes,
stops
I
Superman.
I realized it as soon as I said it.
I believe also a red sun can diminish his powers in that the yellow sun charges him up, but my Superman lore could be a bit lacking in that regard. Superman also not as traditional of a weakness, not as obvious of a weakness as kryptonite, but he is kind of vaguely weak to magic. So like Shazam's powers are magic based, so Shazam can kind of go toe to toe with Superman in a lot of ways.
He's still good against Aquaman, though.
And there's bro, Aquaman.
I mean, he can't like drown him or anything because that's not kryptonite.
No, Aquaman ain't winning that fight, dog. And I like Aquaman fine, but I like that Aquaman can't fly.
There's a House of
I'll
the
say that.
Dragon question, and we haven't watched it.
Yeah, we got to watch tonight.
Delete.
We perfectly. It got spoilers on it?
I don't know if it does, but I don't want to look at it.
Ask
No spoilers?
the bench. Will Coco Gauff make the Wimbledon finals? Yes.
Sure.
Ask the bench. T-Bob, ever eaten at Homecoming in Disney Springs? I've actually never been to Disney Springs. How about that? All the time we go down there.
That's a little surprising, yeah.
How you been? Trying to be at the park, dog. Know what I'm saying? Ask the bench, what food you know better? What food you know better than to eat, but do anyway and upset your stomach? Chinese, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Did that with Sloppy Joe's the other day, too. You know how it is. Also, I forgot to bring y'all some because I never went and purchased any this weekend, but I'll be bringing some back next week.
What?
Bub D's Tamales.
Oh.
It's a family up in Natchitoches that's been making their own tamales for damn near 100 years, and they're just incredible. I really messed up my stomach this weekend eating about 15 tamales in a single day.
I wonder if I can like get my mom to ship some somehow. Hers are so good.
I would love to eat your mom's tamales.
Yeah.
You just let me know when and where, and I'm there.
Okay.
I'll go to town on them things.
Okay. Will you go to Texas for them?
Texas for your mom's tamales. I'm not quite that
Well, I mean,
desperate.
we can go to the.
So no, but
We can also go to the bar.
I do want to see the family bar more than anything, actually. Ask the bench. You ever go to ECU or UNC's campus? If so, have you been to Sup Dogs? If no, you got to go. Beat that Dogs a landslide. I've never been I've been to UNC's campus plenty. Growing up going to North Carolina basketball camp, but I've never eaten at Sup Dogs. Probably was not there.
Sup Dogs, great name.
Yeah, that's true. Sup Dog.
So, dog.
Hashtag ask the bench. What has been your favorite concert? Dead and Company at the Sphere here pretty recently, pretty impossible to beat. That said, seeing Rush with my old man and my little brother was pretty awesome. What about y'all?
Kid Rock was really, like, I know that sounds weird, but Kid Rock
I had a great time with Kid Rock at Endymion one year. He was
Kid
awesome.
Rock was awesome. Also, Garth Brooks is always a great show.
For me,
Taylor Swift, too.
Eric Church in New Orleans was really good.
Ask the bench, are you pumped for Deadpool and Wolverine on the big screen?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. This thing's going to be awesome.
Especially Deadpool.
Is Eric Church Redneck Yacht Club?
No.
Ask the bench. T-Bob, is there going to be an LSU party in Las Vegas the weekend of the USC opener? I think there should be some cool stuff like that. Ask the bench. What do you want to physically do to fans that crap on their own players after they have a bad performance? I don't know. It's kind of a fan's right, especially now the players are being paid. Like, you want to make $1 million, you got to deal with it, you know? All right, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow for some more OTB. Bye-bye now. Have a good day.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I love you. You're so sweet. Thanks for hanging out all morning, guys. Great work, Taylor, Landra, and Bailey. Coleman Roof. I like saying Coleman. ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. That's Coleman for Roofing and Construction. You need Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, most complete roofing company. They're the answer. You probably see the trucks all over town. But the thing, I mean, again, complete is such a word to highlight here because it's any size project, commercial, residential. It's anywhere in Louisiana. It's any type of roof. And it's the construction portion as well. So during some of these storms, you get like some, hopefully like this doesn't happen, but like a tree falls in your home. You get water damage from just like a leak inside. They repair the interior and the roof. My God. Sorry, I was watching a replay of challenge on tennis. Coleman Roof. ColemanRoof.com. Check them out today. ColemanRoof.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.